Hi guys, I'm Eric's Corner here. So today we will have our live sharing sessions regarding the mathematics form 3, so which is trigonometry ratio. So why not? I think one one or two of my friends here want to share about or we call it as want to have a starting with you guys on the sharing sessions. So let's get it started.
Hi Samir, do you know how to do the trigonometric ratio? Wait, trigonometric ratio. Very easy bro. How? Why you know? Because my dad taught me a few years ago. So let me ask you, what is adjacent sides? What is opposite sides? What is the sine? Cosine and tangent? And stop. You ask so many questions. How do I answer you? So why not we can ask someone to explain with us about the trigonometric ratio? That's a good idea. Let's go to the Eric's Corner link. Let's go.
Yeah, so we have Oscar and Samir here to share with to have a good starting with us regarding the trigonometric ratio. So we can get it started. So I know that some of you think that learning trigo is quite boring, so I will try to make it here very interesting here. Okay, so let's get started. So what do we learn in this trigonometry ratio here? So we will learn this. What we will learn in this session will be the adjacent sides and the opposite sides. And then, so in the right angle triangle, we will know the adjacent sides and opposite side depends on the acute angles the location is. So the next will be to verify the conjecture of the relationship between acute angles and the ratio of the sides of the right angle triangle. So not only that, so after we changing the size of the angles, so we will also need to know the relationship between the sine, cosine, and tangent as well. And then lastly, we will know the values of sine, cosine, and tangent without using a calculator. Okay, so first of all, what is meant by adjacent sides and opposite sides here? So for example, we have a right angle triangle here, and then we set the theta, which is our acute angle. So the opposite of the acute angle, so as shown as a arrow here, so it will be our opposite sides. And then below the opposite sides will be adjacent sides. So what about the longest line in the right angle triangle? So it will be our hypotenuse. So I think the hypotenuse concept we already learned in Form 1 mathematics, which is in the topic of Pythagoras theorem, whereby the hypotenuse square equals to the opposite side squared plus the adjacent side squared. So this is the formula of the Pythagoras theorem. So the conjecture of the relationship between the acute angles and the ratio of the sides of the right angle triangle. So as we know, the sine is the ratio between the opposite side and the hypotenuse. Cosine is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse, and then tangent will be opposite side and edges over the adjacent side. So that is so in our we have some catchy words here. So we have SOHCAHTOA SOA because SOHCAHTOA SOA because A here will be represented as a hypotenuse. So SO H okay so H SOH will be SOH will be sine opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is AH CAH SOHCAHTOA, and then TOA will be tangent opposite side over adjacent side. So this is a general formula, or we call it as a trigonometric ratios between sine, cosine, and tangent here. So next, So let us give some examples here. So complete the following table based on the diagram on the right. So what is sine x? So we can see the x is here. X is PQPR. So our sine x will be opposite sides, which is QR, and the hypotenuse OH. So it will be RP. So it will be QR over RP. So this is our sine x. What about cos x? Cos x, this is x. So QP is our adjacent side. So it will be QP over hypotenuse RP. QP over RP. So this is our cos x. The tangent x will be opposite over adjacent. So will be x is here. So QR over QP. So this is our tangent x. So we already settled the acute angle x. So how about y? So y is here. Y is here at QR. The angle QRP is a y. So the opposite side will be, this is the y. So this will be the opposite side will be QP. This is our opposite. And then the adjacent side will be QR. Hypotenuse still the same, RP. So sine y, as we know, sine is opposite over the hypotenuse. So opposite of y, the sine y will be QP over RP. Or PQ over PR also the same. Okay. So next, cos y. So cos y will be adjacent over the hypotenuse. So it will be QR is the adjacent. PR will be the hypotenuse. Okay, so the tangent y. Tangent y will be opposite over the adjacent, so it will be QP over QR. So let's guess the answers. Yeah, so this is the answers given for the diagram on the right. Is there any questions before we move on to the next sessions? Yeah, we already we already know some of the questions. So why not we can have a break time, so we can have a informations. We have we go into the advertisement to show that the broadcasting in education. So let's go to the broadcast here. Okay, so welcome back to our live sharing sessions. So we will continue on our. Okay, so welcome back, guys. So we will continue on our sharing sessions. So let's continue. So how do we know that when the changing of size of the acute angles, it will impact on the conjecture? So let us do the experiment here. So the adjacent size will be 10 cm. This is in science we call it as a constant variable. The only thing we change is the the acute angle, and then also the opposite sides as well. So copy the table below. So we know that sine 10, actually from here we RQ over PR is the same, but actually from the calculator itself we can try to calculate it so we will get this kind of table here. So let's see. So this is our sine graph. This is the sine value from sine 10 degree to sine 80 degree, and then this is as well as cos 10 degree to cos 80 degree. So in this table, what do you observe? So actually you can observe when sine 10 sine 10 degree is equals to cos 80 degree. So this is we are related to the trigonometric identities, but in our level we will not learning the trigonometric identities. So you will learn the trigonometric identities in additional mathematics here, so we won't discuss much on this. So actually you can see sine 10 equals to cos 80, so you can see the sine 10 and cos 80 are the same. Sine 20 degree and sine cos 70 is the same. Sine 30 degree equals to cos 60 degree. So as well as sine 80 degree equals to cos 10 degree. So actually sine and cos is actually the same graph, but the starting point here is very different. So later we will show the graph of the sine graph and the cosine graph. So for the tangent, so we can see the sine and cosine graph. The sine graph will be very close as the acute angle very close. It will close to the 1. For the cos, when the acute angle is increasing, so the value will approach 0. For the tangent, so we can see the tangent table. So as the acute angles increase, so the values of the tangent will be increasing. So this is the statement. The larger of the value of sine and value will be approached to 1. So sine and cosine graph, in terms of the science and maths terminology, sine graph and cosine graph, we call it as sinusoidal graph. Sinusoidal graph. So sinusoidal graph will be somewhere like sine graph, cosine graph lah. Will be have a crest, have a throw itself here. So B, the smaller of the value of cosine and its value approaches 0. So as we increase the size of the acute angle, so it will be approach 0. So from here we can see sine graph. So sine 0 will be 0, and then cos 0 is 1. And then for tangent graph, the larger the size, so it will be larger the value of tangent. But here is the special case. Tangent 90 degree, you will get an infinity, or we call it as math error. You can't really find the values of tangent 90 degree and tangent of 270 degree. Okay, so let's get it. So what is the relationship? So this is the example. So in the right angle triangle, so we call it, how do we derive the tangent here? Tangent, sine and cosine. So actually from this table, so we can know that tangent degree equals to sine over cosine. Sine over cosine here. Okay, So we have, so next, how do we determine the values of sine, cosine, and tangent of 30 degree, 45 degree, and 60 degree angles without using a calculator? So in order to we to know the 30 degree and 60 degree for the sine, cos, tangent, so we need to use the equilateral triangle with two units. With two units. So when we fold it, so the PR is 2 units, so when we fold it will be half, so here will be 1. And then from this is the hypotenuse is 2, so according to the Pythagoras theorem, how do we get 3 here? So it will be square root 3, sec 3 as well. So it will be sec 2 square minus 1 square. 2 square is 4 minus 1, so it will be sec 3. Okay, so this is for, so sec 3. So when we use 30 degree, so S will be the 30 degree. So I want to use sine. Sine will be, sine 30 will be, opposite is 1 over the hypotenuse 2. So sine 30 degree is half. Cos as well, cos 60. So we will one by one. Sine 60. Sine 60. 1 over, it will be sec 3 over 2. Adjacent over hypotenuse, sec 3 over 2. And then for sine, okay, so for 30 and 40, 60 we settle. So we cos theta. Cos 30 will be adjacent, so sec 3 over 2. Sec 3 over 2. And then for 60 degree, y is half 60 degree, so it will be adjacent is 1 over 2. Tangent, so tangent will be tangent 30, 1 over sec 3, or sec 3 over 3. Okay, it's 1 over sec 3, and then 60 degree will be sec 3 over 1, so it will be sec 3 lah, square root of 3. For 45 degree, how do we find? So it will be what the KL and LM, which is the right angle triangle, which have a unit of 1. So how do we find the KM as hypotenuse? 1 square plus 1 square, so we get a sec 2 here, square root of 2. So for 45 degree, 1 over sec 2, opposite over adjacent. Cos 45 as well, same as well. Adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent 45, opposite over adjacent will be 1. So we can use this method to calculate sine, cos, tangent of 30, 60, 45 degree without using a calculator. So that is the sharing that I want to give to you all. So before we go into the ending part, so why not we have one more advertisement on the AI teaching, the innovation of the education. Let's go.
Wow, the trigonometric ratio is very easy. After the explanation from Mr. Eric, I feel refreshed. Through this live, I learned what is adjacent sides and opposite sides. Besides, I also know what is the concept of sine, cosine and tangent. I can calculate some of the value of sine.
Okay, so from the Oscar and Samir also know already refresh on the trigonometric ratio. So actually we say mathematics is very easy to know as long as you really comprehend and do more exercises. I'm pretty sure you can do well in mathematics exam, as in no matter in PT3 or although already abolished, or we call it as UASA test, or even in SPM test. So before we end our live stream, so I would like to thank you everyone who helping me in this journey. So after this, so I will be have a new life, new me, and yeah, thank you so much for the guidance. And then if I have anything wrong, I would like to say I like to apologize to you all. And then if you have any something to say to me, please subscribe YouTube. Please like my page and also my Instagram, God Eric as well. So before I end my live streaming, why not we can have a short clip video on encouragement and motivational, as long because give it a chance, because you are a used person, you are the better person. 只要你肯愿意给自己一个机会，因为我们都是有用的人。Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.